Sergeant Cole Merrick had seen some weird things during his military career. Crystalline life forms on Narathea V, singing stone monoliths on Hest Prime, and the time a harmless, aquatic creature bit off 2 fingers during a peacekeeping mission. But nothing could have prepared him for the diplomatic nightmare that awaited him on the planet Zillivar. Zillivar was lush, vibrant, and by some miracle, largely unspoiled by the ravages of interstellar colonization. Its native people, the Valari, were an elegant, towering species covered in fine scales that shimmered under the sunlight. Their civilization was old, ancient even by Earth standards, and they prized ceremony above almost everything. Humans had recently made first contact, and things were going decently. A few trade agreements, some tentative alliances. Now came the real challenge. A formal greeting between human military representatives and Queen Silari herself, the ruler of the Valari Confederation. Cole had only been part of the honor guard. Body. A warm body. Stand straight, don't sneeze, don't make faces. Simple orders. Until it wasn't. The Queen approached, a breathtaking figure in an emerald robe that shimmered like water. She moved gracefully, each step heavy with meaning. Her retinue flanked her, faces concealed behind flowing veils. The human ambassador stepped forward, offering a traditional Earth salute, a hand over the heart, a slight bow. Cole, standing just behind, shifted awkwardly. His armor was stiff, and in a moment of pure instinct and misplaced respect, he mimicked a gesture from back home, an old habit from his grandmother, who used to gesture with her hands splayed, 2 fingers split apart, thumb extended. He didn't know it then, but to the Valari, that simple motion was everything. Gasps rang out across the open-air palace. Weapons rattled in their holsters. Even the ambassador stiffened, sweat breaking out across his brow. Queen Silari paused. Her golden eyes locked onto Cole. For a moment there was utter, paralyzing silence. Then she smiled, a soft, dangerous smile. The Queen raised her hand and returned the gesture. The crowd around her collapsed into a bow, a murmur of what sounded suspiciously like prayer filling the air. Cole, still frozen with his hand stupidly in midair, whispered to the soldier next to him. "What the hell did I just do?" You just proposed," the soldier choked. "To the Queen." Middle. The humans were quickly ushered away to a private chamber, flanked by dozens of Valari guards. The ambassador spun on Cole the second the doors closed. "Are you insane? That was the binding gesture. You just initiated the eternal bond with Queen Silari herself." Cole blinked. "Wait. Eternal what now?" Ambassador Reynolds buried his face in his hands. "Eternal bond. It's their most sacred vow. It's beyond marriage. It's political. It's religious. He took a shaky breath, basically agreeing to share soul, purpose, and destiny. For life. Cole felt the blood drain from his face. "It was just a hand sign. I didn't mean." She accepted Merrick. She returned the gesture. "You can't take it back." Before anyone could argue further, the Queen's envoy, a tall Valari male with skin like burnished silver, entered giving a small formal bow. "Her Radiance requests the presence of the bonded. Is there a way to undo it?" Cole hissed as he was being guided down a glittering hallway. "If you break it, it's a colossal insult," Reynolds said miserably. "It could start a war. Billions dead." "Awesome," Cole muttered. They entered a private garden surrounded by crystal trees. Queen Silari stood in the center, sunlight making her scales look like a living rainbow. She studied him, curious and calm. "Sergeant Cole Merrick," she said, her voice a musical purr. "Do you understand the magnitude of your offer?" "Aye," Cole swallowed. No, your radiance. It was an accident. I didn't mean disrespect. Her smile deepened. Intent is a human concern. Among my people, the soul recognizes its match, even when the mind is unaware. Oh hell. She stepped closer, towering a good head and shoulders above him. Though she moved with such grace it was hard to feel threatened. I accept your soul, Cole Merrick of Earth. He opened his mouth to protest, and then he met her eyes properly for the first time. They weren't just golden, they were ancient, fierce, lonely. Something shifted deep inside him, something instinctual and undeniable. He didn't know if it was real or just the enormity of the moment crushing him, but part of him felt like he'd been looking for something. Someone, and hadn't even known it. And now he'd found her. Or she had found him. Silari held out her hand. Will you walk beside me, Eternal One? Cole hesitated for a fraction of a second, then stepped forward and took her hand. Her fingers were cool and strong, closing around his like iron and silk combined. Cheers erupted from the surrounding garden as dozens of Valari witnesses fell to their knees. The bond was sealed. Middle continued. Cole's life changed immediately and drastically. First came the ceremonies. Days of them. He was dressed in flowing Valari robes, crowned with woven crystals, and paraded through vast halls where thousands of Valari sang songs that seemed to weave themselves into the very air. Then came the lessons. He was assigned a tutor, Elith, a patient elder who spoke 12 human languages, and drilled day and night in Valari culture, etiquette, law, and history. You must not only be consort, Elith explained, but counsel, protector, and partner in rule. Your voice will carry the weight of 2 worlds. Cole thought he would go mad at first. He was a soldier, not a king. He didn't know how to read ancient scrolls or navigate centuries-old feuds. But every night, Silari would find him, draw him out onto the starlit balconies, and listen as he vented his frustrations. She never mocked him, never belittled his ignorance. Instead, she told him stories, legends of ancient Valari warriors who had come from humble origins to change the course of galaxies. You are not an accident, she would whisper. You are a harbinger. Cole didn't know what to make of it. But little by little, he adapted. He learned to read the subtle glances and half-bows of the Valari court. He discovered he had a knack for understanding tactical negotiations, even when they were disguised as elaborate dances or riddles. He earned respect, not through brute force, but through persistence, honor, and an innate human stubbornness that the Valari came to admire. And through it all, Silari was by his side. Never impatient, never distant. She treated him not as a burden or an accident, but as a gift. Over time, that wary respect deepened into something neither of them had expected. Affection, trust, love, ending. 6 months after the bond, a crisis erupted. A rival Valari house, House Keseth, challenged the legitimacy of the bond, claiming no mere alien could fulfill the sacred duties required. In Valari tradition, disputes of this magnitude were settled by ancient rite. The rite of Raxus, a trial by ordeal, demanding both physical and mental excellence. Cole was given a choice. Decline and insult the entire Valari people. Accept and risk death.